This is John Wild from the Eco Guys this time. How y'all doing today? And I am here today to answer some questions that we get all the time on either our Facebook or people who send in questions in the email, or I just run into people and they say, you know, I know you're that eco dude, you're in it, what do I do with this? As we always say, if you're in doubt and you want to recycle something, contact us and we'll help you out. But always remember this. Now, this is a kind of we're trying to make you understand what you could put in your curbside recycle bin on this little video here. So always remember, when in doubt, put it in anyway and let them figure it out. It used to be when in doubt, throw it out, but we don't do that anymore. We want to be green. We want to help the environment. We want to recycle, grow more of these trees. So basically, we're going to say, when in doubt, put it in the recycle bin, let them figure it out. But there's been so many changes over the years, and I've discovered that a lot of people still have the pamphlets and brochures and all that from when the recycling first started 20 years ago, and so many things have changed. But then you got also what you were banged into your head by public service announcements 15, 20 years ago on what to put in your curbside recycling and how to prepare it, what you cannot put in there. And so many people have just talked about that without knowing that things have changed, that a lot of people just have misinformation. So we're going to try to fix that today and tell you that things have changed and what you can put in your recycle bin have changed too. Now, this may not be for every municipality out there. So it's good to check with your municipality on any kind of changes that they may have. But in true form, when in doubt, put it in the recycle bin and let them figure it out. Now, there are certain things that you do not put into your recycle bin. Okay, first and foremost, oil. Any kind of car lubricant, oil, fluids, any kind of things like that, anything that's encased in oil and all that, do not put that in your recycle bin, okay? That's hazardous waste. If you got anything that's engine parts and all that that's covered with oil, or oil containers or anything along those lines, it's got oil in them, take those to your local municipality landfill drop-off. Every single one of them throughout the nation takes it for free. You can take it to any lube place and say, I got some old oil, can you take this for me? Don't put car parts and all that into your recycle bin. If you got a lot of car parts or things like that, if you're in the Central Florida area, contact the Eco Guys, because we can come pick that up, clean it properly, and recycle it. Or call your local scrapyard and ask them if they got a scrapper in the area that can come because you got some metal and you'd like to recycle it, put it in there. So try to avoid putting any kind of chemicals like that into your recycle bin, because that's a big no-no. But let me tell you, this is the number one thing. Let me see if I can find it here. Here it is. The number one thing that we all like to stick into our recycle bin is plastic bottles. I mean, we've got to start doing a better job, folks. When we first started, everyone was excited about recycling. Everybody was putting their plastics in there. Remember the commercials on TV, the kids running up to the recycle bin and putting their plastics in there? And everybody got excited about it. But then some people were not so excited about it because they said, you got to remove the caps. Then you got to remove the little thing there. Then you got to remove the label. Then you got to rinse it out. Then you got to put it in your recycle bin. You're like, oh my God, you're turning this into a job for me. Oh my God. Well, we've come a long way, folks. When you have a plastic bottle like this, the true method is make sure that you drink all of it. You'd be surprised when I'm going through recyclables that people drop off or we get through our company that are still half filled with soda and stuff. I don't understand it. If you're going to buy the product, drink the product. Okay? One thing I will tell you to do, this is one thing I'm going to tell you to do, we're going to go on. Really, to kind of avoid this, get yourself like a reusable drinking container, like a reusable coffee mug or something like that, or one of those metal, I wish I had one to show, but you know what I'm talking about. Usually metal, you put a coffee in there or your soda in there. And to save money in the environment, when you stop at the convenience store, don't get a bottle of soda. Take your reusable mug in there and refill it. Okay? That saves you time and money, and it saves the environment. We don't have so many of those out there. Try to do that first. Try to avoid getting the product first, then use all of the product. And then when you're finished, what do you do with this? People think, oh, I still got to take this off. I still got to break this. Still got to take the label. We've come a long way, baby. You don't. Put it in your recycle bin like this. Now, also, a lot of things say open it up and crush it, and then put it in your recycle bin. Actually, most separators and recyclers now prefer you not to crush your item. Keep the lid on there so it can keep strong and not crush easy, and put it in your recycle bin just like this. The reason is some of the newer technology we have, the machines look for bottles and they do it automatically. So if the bottle is crushed, it may not identify it as a bottle. The machinery may identify it as something else, and then it goes to another thing that they got to resort it again. There's more energy, or sometimes, heaven forbid, it goes through the process as garbage and goes off to the landfill. So don't crush your bottles anymore. Keep them full. If you fill up your recycle bin, I'm sure that you're ordering something from Amazon or something. Get a little box about the size of your recycle bin. No more beginning than that, and use a little box, to refill, or paper bags. You get those sometimes. Use something else, or just wait till your recycle bin is empty and just kind of hold this off to the side. Put it in for next week. I did something kind of revolutionary with my recycle bins. I left my recycle bins at the curb. I never brought them back in, and no one really complained about it, because what I saw happening, which was kind of amazing, sometimes I would see a car drive by, they would stop, and the driver would throw a bottle into the recycle bin sitting at the curb. I was thrilled. Don't get all upset if someone does that. Be thrilled. You're helping them being green. It's a wonderful thing. So I always left my my recycle bins at the curb, always, 24 hours a day. They just sit there. All right, so anyway, you don't have to remove the label. You do not have to remove the caps, because the new process these boys go through now, it's done automatically. It actually removes the caps. It breaks this up in such a way and separates the plastic in such a way where it removes the caps. They go off into their own place and they're recycled. Most of these caps are PVC, so you want to watch that. And it also removes the labels automatically. And the labels, if you notice, we went from all paper labels to pretty much this plastic type of label. They actually separate these and recycle them as same thing that these bad boys go through. Ugh. Holding this almost gives me a heart attack. Ugh. But they actually separate these plastic labels out and they're recycled. So if you rip these labels off and think, well, I can't do anything with these, so you end up throwing them out, that doesn't do any good. It gets recycled. But if your label does get separated from your plastics, these can go back with all your other plastic bag type material. Because I know you don't get plastic bags from the store. I run across plastic bags all the time because I see them blowing through the yard, or blowing through a parking lot, or getting stuck in a tree. I pulled these out of lakes. So I get plastic bags all the time because I'm finding them everywhere. But you can go ahead and put if your label does become separated, put it in your plastic bags that you find, not use, and it goes back to the store to be recycled. The store. All right, we're going to talk about it in a second. And then so just throw your plastic bottle in there. Don't have to crush. Doesn't matter. This is the most common you've seen. Okay. Now when this is going down the little conveyor belt to be recycled, the conveyor belt people can see this really clearly. They know what that is. That's number one plastic. That's ready to go. And let's see if this thing is live here. I'm going to waste your time for a minute. Somewhere on here it says it. We always look for the label, but it doesn't matter. So anyway, so there you go for that, right? Cool. All right, next. What type of plastic is this? This is Coffee Mate coffee creamer bottle. A lot of these coffee creamers out there come with a wrapped label around them, and this to me bothers me greatly, because what type of plastic is it? Is it clear plastic? Is it colored plastic? Is it number 7? Is it number 4? Is it number 2? Is it number 1? How can you tell when the label is on them? So this is where I'm going to ask everyone out there to start doing something a little revolutionary, something a little different, okay? Now remember, stay safe. Wear safety glasses if you have to or whatever, but I have to say, stay safe when you're using scissors. Don't run with them. Don't throw them around. Don't jab them towards your eyes or anything like that. Don't, open your mouth and stick it in there or something like that. Be careful with your scissors. What I would suggest, if coffee creamers, or if you have a label that covers the whole thing, you can always tell by, there's a little bit of creamer in there still. I hope that's creamer in there still. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's, I'm talking about something. Clean up your mind. Anyway, so basically, the label goes all the way and they can see at the bottom. When they're going through this separation process, they're not going to sit there and go, oh, is that a bottle right there? They're going to want to look at the bottle. So this is what you do. This is a really good thing to do. You take your scissors, and normally it's no big deal, but on live TV it's going to be. Hold on. So you take you put it underneath the label, you give it a small cut up the bottom, and this usually peels right off real easily. Look at that. Easy peasy squeezy. Now they'll be able to tell what that is when it's going through a very fast conveyor belt system when they're recycling it. Don't worry about removing the cap. Let them work on all that. And there you go. Now that they can see that's very clear, it's a very clear plastic, and it's ready to go. And it's a number 1. It says right there. You can see it's a number 1 clear plastic ready to go. So let's try to do that with our coffee creamers or any kind of plastic bottle you see that's completely wrapped up, and it's hard to tell what plastic it is. There, I suggest undo the label so it's easy for them to recycle it. As for the label itself, remember, you always find one of these, don't use them. Next time you see one blowing around in the wind, in a parking lot, blowing across your lawn, stuck up in a tree, you grab it, hold on to it, and then this goes in there. You'll go back to your store to be recycled. Easy peasy, fresh and wheezy. Okay, so here's a question here that we got. It says, okay, I've been told we have to pre-wash our bottles, remove the labels, and then what happens to them after we put them in the recycle bin? Just curious. That's a good question. Well, one, use your product. And unless it's really bad and nasty, you really don't have to pre-rinse it. Just throw it in your recycle bin, put it at the curb. It might be a good idea to run a little water through there and put it at the curb. Now, what I do, and what some real recycle warrior, if you want to be a real recycle warrior, you always have buckets around, right? Right, and you set a few buckets outside on the porch or something to catch the water when it rains so you can water some of your potted plants and all that with them. It's being green. Well, what I do is I choose one of these buckets, and I will take a container. I threw mine through the window, but you can take these containers and kind of dip them in that bucket a little bit so you're not running and wasting fresh water. You dip them in that bucket, close the lid, shake it, pour it back into the bucket or pour it on your grass or your lawn. Actually, the remnants of food, soda, milk, creamer, whatever, ketchup, mustard, whatever the remnants inside that plastic is good fertilizer. It's actually good compost for your plants. So that's what I do. And you don't have to waste any kind of water or anything, fresh water. But a little rinse might be helpful, but just secure the lid, put it out there. Believe me, these big machineries that chop it up, they wash it. You don't have to worry about it. So what happens? You put your items in the recycle bin. A big truck comes along, picks up the items, takes them, and it goes to a big facility where they're all poured out into this big pile, all the different plastics. Then they push these onto a huge conveyor belt. I've uploaded some videos on this before, so check out the Eco Guys on Facebook or the Eco Guys show on Facebook. And then they go through the separation facility, which is at least a mile or two of different conveyor belts. And certain items are recycled automatically through an automatic system. So, and a lot of them are hand pulled by people. The plastic bottles will go down into a certain area. They crush it. They ship it off to market, where they're grinded up into little bitty pellets and reused again for all types of products. Everything from shirts to carpet to wood products. There's a wood product you can buy that you can make benches out of, trim, even structural wood. And they guarantee it lasts 100 years or more. And they're made out of these plastic bottles. So they make all kinds of cool things out of plastic bottles. Caps, toys, everything. I mean, just name it. I mean, there's so many, and there's so many new products coming out. The problem is we need to get a lot more of these plastics into the system so they can come up with a lot more ideas on recycling these plastics. So that was a good question. I like that. So you don't have to really pre-rinse your stuff anymore, and you don't have to take the labels off. Just make sure it's sanitary and clean. If it's really nasty, like the mustard containers. Once you're done with your mustard, your ketchup container, there's always so much residual. I give that a little rinse before you do it. And remember, finish your products. Okay, what we got over here next? This is another thing that bothers me. I've been told that you can only put clear plastics in my recycle bin. Number one, number two, that's it. Not anymore. You probably wonder what I mean by number. If you look on the bottom of containers, see if we got one here. You see that little thing that says a little triangle, and then there's a number there. That's a number 2. Number 2, number 1, all the way from 1 to 7 should be able to be put into your recycle bin as long as it's a small container. Well, maybe a small container, if it fits in your recycle bin, there you go. But I've been told a lot of people are under the impression that it has to be a clear one, or certain ones aren't allowed, or dark color ones aren't allowed, and all this other kind of BS. Any container you can put it, any plastic container, put it in there. If you have a doubt, put it in anyway. Let them figure it out. So if you get a dark container like this, it's really dark. This is a hydrogen peroxide container. Absolutely, put it in your recycle bin. Keep the cap on. Keep the labels on. Don't worry about it. If it's a container, it can go in there now. Don't listen to people who don't know what they're talking about. You might be entitled to your opinion, but you're not entitled to your facts. Put it in the recycle bin. Any color, dark, clear, purple, blue, indigo. Oh, gosh, that hurt. Another thing I've been told. Oh, they say don't put your aluminum pie pins and aluminum foil in your recycle bin. Ah! This is a big controversy. In a lot of municipalities, they don't want this in the recycle bin. So what are we going to do? One of the greatest environmental products of our time thrown away? What do I mean by environmental products of all time? Aluminum. You can melt this down and reuse it. When you reform it, 100% of this comes back. And you can do it over and over and over and over and over forever. You'll never lose the consistency of metal, aluminum, and glass. The greatest containers to use, so most municipalities are telling you to throw it away. These are made out of the same material that aluminum cans are made out of. It's just a lot of people don't clean these, and they get food stuck to them, and they rather just say, "Err." Now, if you have a bunch of tinfoil, it's got a lot of food stuck to it. 2 things you can do. If you want to be a recycle warrior, take your tinfoil with all that food stuck to it. Usually it's food stuck to one side, the side that you wrap the food in. Take it out to your compost pile, upside down, where the food is, onto your compost pile, and put something heavy on top of it. Give it a week or 2, come back out, take it up, lift it up. It's going to be clean as a whistle, I guarantee it. All the worms, the bugs, the microorganisms, all of that compost pile are going to eat that food like you don't know. In fact, there may be some holes in your tinfoil to eat that. Then it's recyclable. And I always try to encourage somebody, could you use a couple of dollars in your pocket? No? Well, if you can't use a couple of dollars in your pocket, donate it to the Eco Guys. We could sure use it. What I suggest you do is you get yourself, next time you go to the grocery store, and only go to grocery stores that offer paper bags if you forget your canvas bags. If there's a grocery store that says, well, we just have plastic only, don't go to them, okay? And tell them you're not going to come back. Go to stores who have a paper bag alternative. Get a couple of paper bags next time you go, because they're good to have around for something like I'm about to tell you. And when you run into your aluminum cans, your aluminum pie pins, aluminum foil, put it in that bag. Wait till you got a couple of bags and take it to a recycle center and get some money for it. Put money in your own pocket. All right, so if the municipality at the curb won't take these and you don't want to make money off of it, still, put these in a box or a bag. When the box or bag is full, call the Eco Guys if you're in Central Florida. We will come pick them up because we'll make the money off of them. If you don't want to make money off them, we'll make the money off of them. And if you're not in the Central Florida area, again, call any scrapyard. Ask them if they have a phone number for a scrapper in your area. A scrapper in your area. Most do. If you have an area and you call it a scrapyard and they don't have a scrapper in your area, contact the Eco Guys. I'll find a scrapper in your area. I have found scrappers in Ireland, England, Canada, Wyoming, Mexico, New Mexico. People from all over the world has contacted us over the years, and I have done my research for them because I'd rather them recycle it. You can always put it in a box or bag, stick a shipping label on it, and mail it to us. Message us for the address. we'll recycle them properly. So these are 100% recyclable over and over and over. And if your municipality doesn't take this, it's time for you to start asking questions, why? And let's get them to start recycling these things, because hundreds of thousands, if not millions, if not billions of these items are thrown away every single day. And we are just throwing away our natural resources like never before. It's time to recycle. Imagine last Thanksgiving, last Christmas, all the things like this that were trashed, all the pies that were bought at the store, all the turkeys that were cooked in the supposable, throwaway item. And I told you how to clean these real easy. Everyone should have a compost pile in the back. You take, again, same thing. You take your pie pan or you take your whatever, upside down on top of your compost pile. Put something heavy on top so it doesn't blow away. Give it a couple of weeks. Take it out. Take a look. It's going to be clean. I guarantee you it's going to be clean. You know what? Do a video of it. Show me it's not clean. It will be clean, believe me. I know. Believe me, I know. So that's what you do with this. Oh, there we go. All right. So next. I just dropped it on the floor, so I can't get it. So I'm gonna tell you this. I get calls about hangers all the time. What do we do with hangers? And I'm sorry, I dropped that, and I'm not going to try to reach down and get it. But you have plastic hangers, you got metal hangers. What do I do? Do I have my assistant? Can my assistant? Oh, I have my assistant. She's going to grab that hanger for me. Thank you so very much. It's always good to have live television going. A lot of people will go to the store and they'll get hangers that look like this. What do? My municipality says no hangers. There's a couple of reasons they say no wire hangers, no plastic hangers. One, what is this made out of? Now I'm looking at this one and there's no identifying marks on this whatsoever. I know what plastic it is because I just know. But there's no identifying marks on here whatsoever, okay? Now, so this could be either a number 2 or it could be a number 7. So number 7 is polystyrene or whatever. So this is a lot of these are made out of polystyrene. And they got a little metal tabs on them, what to do with these, and I'm going to show you. I don't want to break this one apart because I want to use this hanger. But try to reuse plastic hangers you get from the store. Don't throw these in the trash. Another thing you can do is go down to your local thrift store and say, if you get hangers like this, hey, you need some hangers? Yeah, we need hangers. Give them to them. Charities will take hangers all the time. But you can actually break these ends off right here. They snap right off real easy. I'm not going to show you on this one, but they snap right off. And then you got a little clip thing that you can clip anything to. Like, you got a bunch of papers. You don't have to go to the store and buy yourself anything. You got a clip right there. Use them to clip anything, and that holds it pretty good. And then the hanger itself, when in doubt, what did I say? Put it in the recycle bin, let them figure it out. Okay, now wire hangers, and I don't have one here to demonstrate, but it's real simple. The reason they don't want wire hangers is not because the metal's not recyclable. It gets caught up in the machinery, is what they say. Now, if it's a smart recycling facility, if it's a smart processing facility, the very first thing these items would go through should be a magnet to pull all the metal out before it goes into machinery. But sometimes, for some reason, these very smart, intelligent engineers didn't think about that. So what I would do, if you have a wire hanger, you want it recycled, you could do two things. If you live in the Central Florida area, put it in that miscellaneous box I keep talking about, that miscellaneous bag, get it to us. We'll recycle it as scrap steel. Bend it in half a couple of times. Now, I've had some recycle warriors, they have an empty soup can or something, they'll bend that wire hanger up and shove it down in that soup can. Therefore, now it's in a bigger container and it will be recycled as the same steel. Or if you bend it up into a ball, the wire hanger, put it in your recycle bin, it won't get caught up in the machinery as easy. It'll flow through. But try not to take home these wire hangers. But the biggest sin in the world, though, is, and a lot of stores do it, is when the wire hangers go through, they don't reuse these, or the plastic hangers go through, they don't reuse these, they end up throwing them out. And I've done some dumpster diving, and I will do some dumpster diving videos in the future to call out some of these stores where you pop open their dumpster, and there are boxes, and I'm not talking about little boxes, I'm talking about television-sized boxes filled with hundreds and hundreds of these hangers. That's bad. That's a lot of plastic going to the landfill. And here's some trivia for you, real quick. How long would it take this hanger to biodegrade into nothing in a landfill? Let's think about that for a second. All right, time's up. Anywhere from 100,000, 200,000 years to never. Styrofoam will never biodegrade, no matter what. Because when these things are thrown in landfills, they are covered by more trash, covered by dirt, covered by plastic sheathing and all that. It turns into a vacuum, and these things are not into the elements. They will never biodegrade. They will sit in that landfill forever, and that's what we're doing to our environment. So what do? We make more plastics, which puts more pollutants in the air. If this is recycled, 50% less to 75% less pollutants are put in the air through a recycling process rather than getting virgin material and making a brand new hanger out of it. So let's think about recycling these a little bit more. And hold on to them. You never know when you need a hanger, you know. And in Florida, especially if you're in a high humidity environment, it's not a good idea to use metal hangers because they rust. So try to use these. And I know this is not a fancy old hanger from the store and all this. Who cares? You know, if someone's going to go look in your closet and judge you because you got a non-fancy hanger, why are they your friend anyway? They don't like the environment. They don't care about the world. We don't need them. All right, next. We're going to try to go through these because I have a lot of questions. And we're going to continue going through them. Junk mail, windowed envelopes, especially junk mail magazines, sales material, business cards, all kinds of stuff. What do we do with those? All of that can be put in your recycle bin. It's all considered magazine material, except for windowed envelopes. This is an issue. So I'm going to go through real quick, kind of really quickly process your windowed envelope. And if you don't want to do it, gather your kids around. Oh, come on, kids, gather around. Have your kids do it because your kids, most kids love the environment and it gives them a little project to do and they get to tear something up. So this is how it's real simple. When you get a windowed envelope, you just tear it open like this. Now sometimes the window part of it, sometimes, will peel off very easily. You know, this one won't. So this is a perfect example. Sometimes you just peel it off, make sure you get all the plastic. And guess where that plastic goes? I'll show you in a second. And then, if that won't happen, then you just get out your trusty pair of scissors. And then you just cut just below the plastic. What are you looking at? Anyway. And cut just below the plastic. All right. Pop. Paper goes into your paper recycling thing. Your recycle bin with your paper, okay? No window envelope anymore, just paper. So there you go. Oh! Now you got this, but it's got paper on it, guy. What are we going to do with it? Doesn't matter. A little bit of paper, it's not going to hurt the process. Put it in your bags, go back to the store. Simple as that. All right. Here's another question I get asked, and recycle bins. Receipts. Can I put receipts in my recycle bin? Absolutely. Put receipts in your recycle bin. Plastic bags like this with the little zipper, I said that they are not recyclable. Yes, they are. Now, does this go in your recycle bin?
How about no?
No. Unless your municipality says that they accept plastic bags in your recycle bin, and more are, absolutely not. These things clog up the machinery. They cost more energy and more time and more money to keep these things clean than anything else. Also, they are not in a controlled environment. And a lot of times these things will blow out of the truck, or if at the recycling facility there'll be a big wind that might blow through. These things will blow up in the air. They'll fly around and eventually find a lake, a river, and a stream to land in. And now we have a real problem at that point. So what do? There are stores everywhere. No matter where you're at, there's a store nearby that takes plastic bags and will recycle them for you. And I don't care if they've got the little Ziploc on them or not. They are recyclable 100%. You don't have to tear off the Ziploc and all those other rumors that you're hearing. That was one of the questions. Do I have to tear off the Ziploc on my Ziploc bags to recycle them? Only thing is, make sure they got no food product in it. Clean it out a little bit. Let it dry. Put it in your bags with the Ziploc on it. Take it back to the store. Okay? And if the store you go to doesn't recycle plastic bags and offer that kind of recycling, don't go there anymore. Paper bags. Yes, absolutely. This is a Taco Bell bag. Yes, I know. Did you hear Taco Bell's going to start offering French fries now? That's cool. Anyway, Taco Bell, any kind of paper bag. I don't care what color it is. I had another one here, but it disappeared for another example. But I don't care if they're white. I don't care if they're pink. I don't care what color they are. All plastic bags can be recycled. Even gift bags can be recycled. Put those in your recycle bin because they can be recycled as a hard, high quality hard paper. So put those in there. If for some reason your municipality says no gift bags, you can always take those to any place that recycles cardboard, even your local stores, and ask them to put this in their cardboard crusher, or any dumpster behind any convenience store or any business that says cardboard only. Put it in there. All right. I was given this to everybody knows John Wilds, a cigar smoker. This is a good one here. This has got a very thick zip on it, and it's got a colored plastic. I was asked if this is recyclable one time in a cigar store. They asked me if it was recyclable because they knew I was an eco guy. Absolutely, you don't have to take anything off or remove anything. But if you get these industrial bags like this that are, product driven, sometimes you might want to hold on to these because they lock tight, and this is good for storing all kinds of stuff. When hurricane season or storm season in your area comes around, these are good to hold on to because you can put important paperwork, your driver's license, whatever in here, seal it up, and it's protected from the storm. So you might want to hold on to this, put it in the closet. You never know. What I sometimes do is I hold on to these, and I got a lot of these everywhere. And this coming hurricane season here in Florida, I'm going to offer small survival kits, and I'm going to put them in this plastic bag, small little first aid kits for sale. And I'm going to put them in this paper, so I don't have to pay for plastic bags for that. I already got them. You never know when you're going to need them. Well, we just got finished with Christmas. Of course, if you're watching this video in the middle of summertime, you're like, eh. So if it's in the middle of summertime, go ahead and instead of hearing me say the word Christmas or the holidays, put in like a birthday or bar mitzvah or something like that. There's always toys, always presents being given. Also, another thing too, there's a huge, everyone orders from online now, Amazon and all these people. There's a huge influx of cardboard now into the system, more than ever before because of online purchases. Please make sure all your cardboard gets recycled. It is so important. I still go into neighborhoods all the time and see tons of cardboard boxes sitting in recycle bins. You're raping the forests. These trees, everybody says protect the trees. You're like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Well, I'm going to tell you this right now. This is real simple. Take your hands, take your thumb, wrap your hands around your neck and squeeze really hard till you're no longer breathing. And just stay like that. Why would I do that? That's silly. Why are you saying that, John? No. Well, you're depriving your body of oxygen. You're going to die. What gives out oxygen? Trees and plant life. So why are we cutting this stuff down at an alarming rate? We're literally choking ourselves. Trees take in bad things and put out oxygen, and we are chopping them down at an enormous rate now more than ever before because of the influx of cardboard needed for these deliveries. And I'm a little upset at Amazon. I'm going to be making a video here pretty soon. I have ordered something from Amazon about this size of this mouse, and it comes into a box about this size. And I'm like, you need to do a better job of cutting it down. So what do? They stick a bunch of plastic bags in there to keep it filled in. Oh, now there's more waste. So try your hardest to recycle something that's easy. If you can't cut it up, if you don't have cardboard recycling, I guarantee you, in your travels in a day, you will pass 100 of these dumpsters that says cardboard only, that you can go and put those in. And I bet you anything within the next few days, you're going to be going to a grocery store, a home improvement store, an office supply store. Guess what every single one of these stores have in common? They recycle their cardboard. They got a big cardboard crusher in the back that recycles cardboard. And if you're a good customer of those, you just walk in there and say, hey, I got these empty, clean cardboard boxes. Can you throw them in your crusher? If they say no, contact me with the name of the store and the store manager and their phone number. They will never say no again after my phone call. I guarantee you that. Also, they're an idiot because they make money off that cardboard. So why wouldn't they take it? Plus, it's a customer service issue. Hello, yes, you're a good customer. I'll take your cardboard recycle. Absolutely. Just stick it in a buggy and wheel it in. They'll wheel it in the back and they'll recycle it. But again, let's get back to toys. Toys! Toy boxes. They're filled with a plethora of different items, and a lot of municipalities say, try not to put these in there because of the plastics inside them, blah, 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 blah. Okay, again, gather your kids around now because we're going to make this easy. If you don't want to do it, they will, I'm sure, love to do it. So you open up your car, your toy, these are cars, and the first thing you pull out is a plastic, usually are plastic containers. What are these? Normally they're number one plastics. It doesn't matter. Every municipality will take these. Put them in your recycle bin. What else we got in here? We got a filler, kind of an interesting thing in the back. It's pasteboard, still cardboard, that goes into your recycle bin. Yes. Okay. Next, we got a piece of plastic and cardboard. What do we do here? It's real simple. Just reach inside, find the edge of that plastic, and just peel it right off. Look at that. Look how easy peasy that is. Yeah, let me try that again. It's easy peasy. There we go. You got to pull it the right way. And then you pull out your plastic from your cardboard. This is ready to go to the recycle bin, 100%. I don't care what it's got on. I don't care the writing. I don't care what color it is. It's cardboard into your recycle bin. Now, what to do with this? It's unlike shopping bags. It's real thick, kind of a hard plastic and all that, What do we do with this? Well, if you do arts and crafts, you might want to hold on to that. You never know if you need it. Other than that, believe it or not, you can stick it in the bag. It goes back to the store. It's recyclable, just like everything else. My table over here is empty, so my list is empty. But just keep in mind, if there's ever a doubt, if it's any kind of plastic whatsoever, even small little, plastic things like this, anything at all, make sure it gets put in the proper place, which is the recycling at the store. Anything about cardboard or plastics or plastic bottles, if you're curious about them, just no product in them. Get rid of your product, put them in there. So far we're about 37 minutes into this video, so I'm going to have to cut the video out because I don't want to go too long. We'll have more videos like this. If you have any questions, contact the Eco Guys. At the end of this video, it's going to have all of our contact information. Get a hold of us. Ask us questions. I've been doing a lot more blogs. I'm going to try to get on a daily thing here to help you really recycle. There's so many questions. People want to know about so many things that they have they want recycled. Always email us. We'll get back to you in a couple days. Just hang in there with us. Message us on Facebook. It's ecoguys at yahoo.com. I'm sorry, the ecoguys at yahoo.com. Yahoo.com, yeah, that's the email address. And if you have any questions, we're going to try to answer as many as we can because we're going to talk about plastic forks and spoons and knives. We got so many things coming up. We want more questions, and we're going to try to answer them for you. But always remember, when in doubt, recycle it. And we're also going to talk about aerosol cans here real soon. A lot of municipalities won't take them because they're pressurized and they're dangerous, and they are. For right now, start stockpiling your old aerosol cans. When you're done with them, use all the product. Don't throw those out like it says to do in the container. I've read some of these containers where it says, wrap in paper 5 times and throw it out. I'm like, what? Now you're wasting paper and you're throwing steel and you're throwing paper out? Oh, that's really sweet. Hold on to them because we're going to be able to tell you where you can take these cans to, but some municipalities will allow you to put them in the recycle bins. Find out with your local municipality if they'll allow you to do it. If not, then we will show you or tell you in another blog coming up what to do with aerosol cans. Other than that, I really appreciate you tuning in. We need questions. Try to be green on your daily basis. And if you have an I don't care attitude or if it's too much work, believe me, I put a recycle bin and a garbage can next to each other. I threw something in the garbage can and then I threw something in the recycle bin. It took the same amount of energy. So there's no excuse. Please, if you don't care about yourself, care about your kids. If you don't have kids, care about your friends' kids or your family's kids or your nieces, your nephews, your cousins, or whatever it is. Care about the world that we're about to leave them. It's catastrophic, and it's getting a lot worse, and there's a lot of warnings out there to start taking recycling and our environment a lot more seriously than we have been. Don't listen to the politicians. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. Don't listen to the global warming crowd. They don't know what the hell they're talking about. It's really simple. If you want to help the environment, start right where you're at by recycling. Recycling is the main deal right now. We need to completely cut off all this garbage going to the landfill. Don't throw stuff in your trash can. Don't throw trash on the ground. Don't litter. Don't litter and recycle. You start doing that, and you get your friends to do that. You get an attitude change about where you put these items when you stop at the gas station to gas up. Don't throw your plastic bottles and cans and metal cans into the garbage can. Just hold on to it when you get home. There'll be a recycle bin there. Or drive around to the back. If you see a container that says recycle products, throw it in there. Hold on to it. You'll run across something very soon where you can recycle those. Don't throw our world away. That's what we're doing, folks. And pretty soon, when they start shutting down these landfills and saying it's up to you to get rid of your trash, and you're paying 10 times the amount you normally pay to get rid of your garbage, then what? Say, I didn't warn you. Just start recycling and keeping your area clean and watching the Eco Guys. We're going to give it to you straight. And there you go. You heard me before say it. Don't listen to the politicians. Don't listen to the global warming crowd. Listen to the Eco Guys, because we're going to say it straight. We're going to give you the truth. We don't have an agenda other than to keep this planet clean. We don't receive money from big corporations to sit there and say everything's okay or global warming is real or anything like that. We don't get it. We just say it straight. That's it. Thank you for tuning in. Take care of yourself. Take care of the environment. Always be green. And also look for the Eco Guys show at OrlandoRecordsRadio.com.